Pete Hodgson.
My question, Mr Speaker, is to the Minister of Health, and it reads, does he think neurosurgery services should be retained at Dunedin Hospital?
The Honourable Jonathan Coleman.
On behalf of the Minister of Health, I would take a lot of convincing that there shouldn't be neurosurgical services in Dunedin.
The Honourable Pete Hodgson.
Would he be prepared to turn his feelings into a guarantee now that neurosurgical services in Dunedin will be retained?
The Honourable Jonathan
On
Coleman.
behalf of the Minister of Health, Mr Speaker, that member knows that the Director-General of Health has convened an expert panel to address this issue, and I'm not going to prejudge the result of that inquiry.
The Honourable Pete Hodgson.
Why did he shovel this issue onto his officials, who shovelled it onto a committee, who haven't yet even got themselves terms of reference, instead of taking some action, any action, himself?
The Honourable Jonathan
Coleman. On behalf of the Minister of Health, Mr Speaker, I would just remind that member that under his morbid tenure as Minister of Health, 30,000 New Zealanders were removed from elective surgery waiting lists. And he well knows that the Director-General of Health has convened an expert panel which is addressing this issue, and it will report back in November.
Point of order, Mr.
The Honourable Darren Hughes, point of order.
Two points to make. First of all, the little gratuitous comments at the beginning, which I don't think added to the answer.
Order.
The member here was asking a question about something on his local electorate. This is a pretty good example of a local member doing their job at question time. The second point is whether or not that answer in any way to addressing or answering the points Mr Hodgson was trying to make.
I think order. I think the point of order is valid in that the questioner did ask why the investigation was being carried out. I mean, he took a roundabout way to get there, and therefore some gratuitousness, I don't know whether that's the right way of putting it, in an answer is not unexpected when the shape of the question is quite the way it was. But the intent of the question was to ask why the inquiry was being conducted where it was, and maybe the Minister could please answer the question in that light, why the Director-General is conducting the inquiry, if the Minister has that information.
Because he was asked to by the CEs of the South Island DHBs.
The Honourable Pete Hodgson, I thank the Minister.
Firm that high-quality neurosurgical services have been provided in Dunedin since before he was born, and why does he not now offer a straightforward guarantee that that proud history will continue?
The Honourable Jonathan Coleman.
Well, on behalf of the Minister of Health, I can confirm that they have had a high-quality service there, but once again, I'm not prepared to prejudge the results of the inquiry.
The Honourable Pete Hodgson.
Does he not consider that from time to time a minister must step in? That is why we have ministers in the first place, and that in this case that time has long and truly passed. When will he do anything to resolve this issue?
On behalf of the Minister of Health, Mr Speaker, that member would usually be the first to complain if a minister overrode an official, but there's a perfectly satisfactory path to resolving this situation, and once again I'm not going to preempt the results of that inquiry.
Point of order, the Honourable Pete Hodgson.
So I seek leave to table a number of documents. One is the result of a poll carried out by the Otago Daily Times showing a 97%...
Order, was this published in the Otago Daily Times?
It's not. It's an online poll. It's with...
Okay, leave is sought to table this document. Is there any objection? There is objection.
Secondly, a Facebook page with just under 10,000 people signed up to it in a few days regarding neurosurgery.
What's the Facebook page about?
It's called Keep Neurosurgery in Dunedin is the name of the Facebook page. Leave is
sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is objection.
Mr Speaker, the third document is a little more readily accessible, but when you make judgment on it, please consider that it's very, very funny. Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table today's Southland Times cartoon.
We won't be doing that. Question number 9, Tim McIndoe.